Good morning, everybody. It's another episode of Intellectually Honest, unedited, uncut, and we're going to get right into it. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell. That way you'll be notified every time I drop. Help the channel keep growing. We almost at 200 subscribers, which is way more than I ever thought I would have. So that's a success in my book. But go ahead, let's keep this thing going. Let's keep this channel growing. But without further ado, we can go ahead and get right into it. Breaking news. You know what I'm saying? Just in. The Chicago Bulls are legit. They're 3-0. And I'm going to tell y'all what I'm most impressed about. But before I get into that, the Bulls as a whole so far, I'm going to break down this last game. Go over the stats. Go over what I saw with the Bulls versus the Pistons. Yesterday, Saturday, I want to say it was. I know I'm late getting to it, but life happens. So first things first, let's open up this box score. Make sure I'm being honest about these stats. Make sure I'm not a cap and a lion. First thing you'll notice is Lonzo Ball. The first thing I noticed is Lonzo Ball only had 1 assist. And as a point guard, as a past first point guard, which we've already established that he is, it would be easy to say, oh, well, I guess Zoe didn't have that. He wasn't that. He didn't have it that night. But this is the thing about Lonzo. When I say Lonzo Ball is a truly transcendent player in every sense of the word, I mean that he affects the game in a variety of ways that don't always show up on the stat sheet, ways that the conventional box score don't always measure. And Lonzo Ball that night against the Pistons, just because he only had 1 assist doesn't mean he wasn't facilitating. I watched the game. He was moving the ball. He kept the ball up. The rock doesn't stick with Zoe. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got some players, they call them black holes. Like, once the rock goes to that player, it ain't coming back. It's gone. He got it. He either gonna turn it over or he's shooting it. But he ain't passing it back. Lonzo Ball is not that kind of player. Lonzo Ball is a true point guard. Like, his job out there is to keep that offense flowing. So people, I know back when Lonzo was a rookie and a sophomore and stuff like that, people say, oh, he needs to keep the ball in his hand a little bit more and do more with it, blah, blah, blah. We like that. Like, it looks cool because, like I said, a lot of people my age who grew up watching Allen Iverson, and Allen Iverson would doom, and hit you with that crossover or whatever, but that's not what Lonzo is. Lonzo doesn't care about that. Lonzo can. I think Lonzo has more in his handles bag than a lot of people are aware of, but that's not what Lonzo is out there to do. Lonzo's out there to be an extension of the coach on the floor, keep that rock moving, keep that offense flowing, and stop from getting stagnant. So let's, like I said, let's look at these stats. Of course, the Pelicans won by 15 points. They're 3-0 for the first time since I want to say 2016 is what I heard. Which is impressive in and of itself. That's very telling. But I don't want to hype it. I don't want to hype it. But if you look at this last game, Lonzo Ball had 13 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 steals. See, this is a prime example of, like, all y'all people out there, all y'all haters that say Lonzo Ball is just an alright defender. Like, he ain't elite. You know what I'm saying? Or they throw him on to the other team's best player because of his size. Like, he doesn't really stop anybody. First of all, nobody in the NBA is really getting stopped. You know what I'm saying? It's very rare that somebody literally gets the clamps put on them, like they get put in jail. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep it 100. But as far as Lonzo Ball, I mean, all y'all people out there saying that y'all not convinced, y'all not convinced of his defensive prowess. Come on, 3 steals, 4 blocks, 4 blocks. Come on, 4 blocks, 3 steals, 4 blocks. How y'all not convinced? Like, anyway, moving on. 42% from 42.9% from 3, Very impressive. His stat line wasn't trash by any stretch of the imagination. It's just that the focus where he really affected the game at was on the defensive end as opposed to the offensive end. And like I said, just because he only has one assist that showed up in the stat sheet doesn't mean he wasn't moving the route. It doesn't mean he wasn't facilitating. It's just that it just means that he wasn't making the last pass before the bucket. The ball, he could have been getting a lot of, he could have gotten a lot of hockey assists. NBA doesn't keep track of that stat. I wish they did. He could have been getting more assists that not assists, but more passing that led to his teammate getting fouled and sent to the foul line. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. As long as the ball doesn't stick with Zoe, which it never does, he's doing his job. As long as Zoe is making sure everybody's in their right spots and in their sets and make sure the offense doesn't stagnate, he's doing his job. That's why you bring in Lonzo Ball. He's an extension of the coach on the floor. How y'all not convinced? So let's go to DeMar DeRozan, which looking at the rest of these stats, it looks like it was a bad scoring night for the majority of the team. They didn't break 100 points. DeMar DeRozan, he's the only player who had at least 20 points. So he had 21 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. So it looks like DeMar DeRozan was getting credited with a lot of the assists tonight. I think he probably had the most assists on the team, yeah. But yeah, DeRozan had a good game, but DeRozan only shot 38.9% from the field, which is not good. 0%. He took 1 3, missed it. He was good from the free throw line. So he scored a lot of points, but it wasn't the most efficient. But he did get some assists and he did crash the board. So good game from DeRozan. Nikola Vucevic, I'm still waiting for him to show up and play like a star. He's been an all-star in this league. He just hasn't been an all-star this season. He did crash the boards heavy though. He had 19 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and 3 blocks. Again, going back to the Lonzo Ball effect, his play style is contagious. Him, LaMelo, like it's something about it. Rondo, like those type of guards like that, it's contagious. Once they get on the roster, they start hyping. They start clamping down on defense. Getting everybody involved, moving the ball, assisting. It becomes contagious with the team. Now suddenly everybody's making the extra pass. And DeRozan has been a really good playmaker, so I'm not counting him. But like Vucevic, he's a good passer. Zach LaVine had 5 assists. Patrick Williams had an assist. It becomes contagious. Is the point? Everybody is eager to make that extra pass to get the easy shot, to get the better shot. So that's another example of Lonzo Ball being a truly transcendent player in the game. So moving on. Zach LaVine, 14 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. So that's more of the assists going to Zach LaVine. So that tells me that the ball was moving and maybe Lonzo Ball was making the extra pass. And not maybe, I'm talking maybe like I didn't see it. So that is what was happening. Lonzo Ball was making the extra pass and keeping the ball moving, but he just wasn't making the final pass that led to the assist. So all in all, it looks like the offense was moving, but it wasn't the most efficient offensive night. Like I think guys shots just wasn't dropping. It is what it is. Every night is not going to be a hot night. Caruso had 12, 4, and 5. 5 steals for Caruso. Come on, y'all. That's what I'm saying. Jesus Christ. The Bulls, I think, might surprise everybody and end up being not only a high-powered offense, but also one of the best defensive teams in the league as well. It's definitely looking like it's possible. Shout out to them guys, and that's what's the most, going back to what I was going to say earlier. That's the most impressive things about the Bulls so far, is that they've been just as good on defense as they have on offense. So, like games like this, they might not always have it going. That's what separates good teams, playoff teams, and championship caliber teams. And that's why I think the Bulls are gonna shatter the expectations of like haters, like or maybe they're not haters, maybe they're just pessimistic when it comes to the Bulls. Maybe they really don't think Lonzo's that good. Whatever. But I've seen a lot of experts saying that the Bulls, they don't think Lonzo Ball and DeRozan, they don't think the needle moved that much. But I think they're gonna be surprised at just how crazy Lonzo Ball is on defense. I don't think anybody, and that's what I said earlier. Like when I research the log, like I always say, research the log. In one of my old videos, I said that what was the title? Is Lonzo Ball the same old consistent Lonzo Ball, something like that? And in that video, I went into detail about how he looks like he's more engaged. One of the big knocks on Lonzo Ball has always been that it's always been that he sometimes looks like he checks out of the game. Like he just kind of lets the game happen. He doesn't really try to affect it or keep his fingerprints all over it. But man, like you can tell this season, Lonzo Ball has his hands in everything, like kids with bad manners. You know what I'm saying? He's that. Like I'm even impressed with his defense. And I know, I know that Lonzo is a good defender, and I'm even impressed. So let's just keep it 100. You know, this team has met my expectations, is shattered the expectations of the haters, and the team has intrigued the people who kind of didn't care one way or the other. You'd be lying. If you're an NBA fan, you'd be lying if you said you weren't intrigued by the Chicago Bulls. So yeah, so that's how I'm calling it with this stat line, with this box score. Javonte Green, Alex Caruso, solid off the bench as they have been. Javonte Green, man, shout out to the Bulls again for picking him up for my Celtics. That was a great pickup for you guys. Let's go. Yeah, it looks like they kept the rotation kind of short. Troy Brown Jr. got some minutes, but yeah. Let's see. Looks like the next matchup, and like I said, I don't want to hype this stuff. I don't want to hype the Bulls. Like I don't want to sound like these guys are killing it. They're the best in the world. Because if we keeping it 100, you know what I'm saying? They've been playing some garbage bucket teams. The Pelicans are a garbage bucket team. What's a garbage bucket team? The Pelicans. So it's not like the sample size has been nearly big enough. It looks like the Bulls, even Monday night, they got the Raptors. They're not a garbage bucket team, but they're definitely a trash bag team. Let's see. I'm trying to see when are they gonna get their first real test. And not playing that night. The Knicks. Oh yeah. Make sure y'all tune in on Thursday, because there's some people out there that don't think the Knicks are good. It's this thing. First of all, these are two storied franchises from the Eastern Conference, so that's the narrative already set. It's an old rivalry from back in the 90s with Jordan and Ewing. But now you got people who think that the Knicks season was a fluke, and that they're not even in the same category as the Bulls and teams like that they're gonna get exposed this year, and Julius Randle ain't that dude. I'm a Julius Randle fan. And then you got people, like in one of my last videos, I always say that I think Julius Randle is better than Zach LaVine, and people are coming to comments saying how stupid I am and how I need to have my microphone taken and my YouTube channel canceled and all that crazy stuff. So that's gonna be one to see. I'm gonna be definitely tapped into that. Jesus Christ, that's not till Thursday though, so we gotta wait a little bit. But I think that'll be their first real test. Cause so far it's kind of just been a bunch of garbage bag teams, if we're being really, really real. What can you say? So, with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up right there. Like I said, I'm extremely impressed with the Bulls. You couldn't have asked for a better start. Shout out to LaMelo Ball also for getting off to a 3-0 start. To the Ball brothers, a 3-0. And shout out to Jello Ball for officially, finally being on a G League roster. I know it's like, oh, G League, we wanted to see him in the league, but it's somewhere, you know, he's somewhere now. You know, it's like somewhere where he knows he has a contract and he's gonna be playing some games. So shout out to that. Shout out to them. And yeah, so I don't know when the G League games happen, to be honest with you. But now that LiAngelo's there, I'm definitely gonna try to find out. And yeah, I guess that's about it. Shout out to the Bulls. Let me know in the comments where y'all think the Bulls can end up at. And you know, so like I said, looking at how they play so far, I'm predicting the top 5 seed, possibly 4. Yeah, like I said, hopefully they can keep this going. And like I said, it's exciting stuff for basketball fans right now. So like I said before, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And like I said, I am active in the comment section. So if y'all comment, I will go back and forth with y'all a little bit about some hoops. So that's about it, man. This has been another episode of Intellectually Honest in the books.